Well, hi everybody. Welcome to Gospel Time Podcast, and I hope you enjoyed today's podcast. It is called God or Anxiety, and if you are watching today, I just want to say that you guys can comment. If you guys want to ask me a question about today's topic, feel free to comment. Well, let's get right into the podcast. God bless you all. Thank you for joining me today. Well, hi, and welcome to Gospel Time Podcast with Brother Matthew Travis. Thank you for joining me today. Today we're going to talk about God or anxiety, and I thank you for joining me today. If you guys are watching on Instagram, YouTube, or listening on any other podcast sites, God bless you for taking time out of your day just to join this little 20-minute podcast. Well, today, as I said, we're going to talk about God or anxiety. And it says in Luke chapter 16 and verse 23, it said, verse 23, verse 20 to 25 and 28. It says, "And in hell he lifted up his eyes, being in torments, and seeth Abraham afar off, and Lazarus in his bosom. But Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime receivest thou thy good things, and likewise Lazarus evil things. Best now he is comforted, and thou art. For I have 5 brethren, that he may testify unto them, lest they also come unto his presence, the place of torment." My title today is God or Anxiety. The first episode of my series is called God or Anger, which I already did. So if you have not watched that, please go watch it. So, this is a volume A, B, and C series. So, we're going to by letter these series. We're going to talk about the things that start with them letters that are bad. I'm going to give you a decision between God or whatever. So today, I hope you will enjoy. We will be right back with the podcast in a minute. So, please, thank you for joining me today, and I will be right back with my podcast. God bless you all. Well, hi, and welcome back to Gospel Time Podcast. Thank you for joining me today. And if you are joining today on Instagram, I thank you for joining me, and I see all who joins, and I thank you for joining me today. And if you have any questions to ask about our topic today, feel free to ask. And I am not going to tell you cannot ask anything. You can tell me whatever you want to about our topic, or whatever you would like to say, like say hi to me or whatever. You can. And so with the podcast, today we're talking about God or anxiety. So I'm going to get to the depths of this subject. So, now, mostly why people get depressed is alcoholism, war, car wrecks, or a death. So we're going to talk about anxiety. And thank you for joining, Logan Martins. And how to get people get it, and how to get people get rid of it, and how to people to deal with anxiety. And what causes people to get depressed? So these are the questions I will answer today. So the first question, how do people get it? Well, people get depressed by alcohol, war, car wrecks, and death, as I said. And they can even get suicidal. If they get deep enough in it, they get suicidal. And they think their life is meaningless. And thank you for joining, Jeremiah. Thank you for joining, and thank you all for tuning in today. And in the word today, there is a million cases of dietary disorder. That means, so if you are battling anxiety, you can get depressed from fighting in their home. Like people fighting, you can get depressed from it. And you also can get depressed from the COVID-19, because that is depressing a lot of people in our U.S. today. Because so many people are depressed and living in a world that is so a wreck. So today I just want to say, and there's to include two other viruses, including the flu and the Omicron. And that can get us depressed too. So, okay, the next question, I will answer the next question now. How do people deal with depression? Well, they can't eat, they can't sleep, and their happiness and fun has gone away. Now I will answer the next question after this short break. Stay tuned, and we will be right back with Gospel Time Podcast. God bless you all. Thank you for joining me today. So, hi, and welcome back to Gospel Time Podcast. Well, thank you for joining, Jacob Hill. God bless you all. God bless you for joining today on my podcast today. We're talking about God or anxiety. Now I will answer the next question, and how do you get rid of depression? Well, when I say this, you're probably going to say, really? He's the answer? He is. Because there's a verse in the Bible, and it says, it's in Matthew 11:28, and it says, "Come unto me, all." You get that key word, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. So if you are heavy laden today with depression, God can heal you from depression. So now I want to read this. So there's 3 million cases, as I said, of dietary disorder, which means depression. There is 3 million people with depression. They can't sleep, eat, or listen to something, and they have nausea. Nausea is when people get sick, because depression makes them so weak that they don't even know what they are doing. So, depression is a very bad thing. Really, I think it is the worst thing that Satan can give you. But there is hope and encouragement to get this problem and set you and Satan and situation out of your life. To turn to Philippians chapter 4 verse 6, and it says, "Be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving let your requests be made known unto God." So, we got to request are made known. What does that mean? We got to ask God to deliver us from depression. So what this verse means, it means to be careful for nothing. That means, I think, be careful to not get depressed. Because when you're depressed, you do nothing. So, and then the part that says, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, it means when you're in depression, you should pray and ask God to take it away from you. Supplication means a earnest prayer. We got to come humbly. Thanksgiving means when He doesn't or does answer your prayer right then. You thank Him always, because if you are a Christian, you know that God can answer your prayers. So today I want to today, if you guys are tuning in, today I will be sending all my followers today a piece of paper. I'll take a picture of it and I'll send it to all you guys. And it's going to have these words on it. A truthful hand is better than a doubting hand. I made it up, my saying, I made it up. And I think it's a really good one. So I just want to give it to you guys, so you guys say, someone out there that you guys are watching that you are in depression, that you know that the truthful hand is way better than the doubting hand. Because if you grab the doubting hand, it's going to pull you in so fast, you will never know what happened. Because God is there, going to be there for you. No matter what, He will be there for you. Because God is love, and He will be there when you are at your lowest point and where you think you can never go on anymore. God will be there. So, as I said, I want to talk a little bit more about the meaning of depression. I got this from the Webster Dictionary. It means the angular distance of a celestial object below the horizon by the size of an angle of depression, an act of being depression, or a state of being depressed, as a pressing down, lowering, a state of feeling sad, dejection, a philosophical or a philosophic disorder, marked SESP by sadness and activity, difficulty in thinking, a concentration, and a significant and cease or decrease in appetite, and a time spent sleeping, feelings of dejection and hopelessness, and sometimes suicidal tendencies, and a reduction in activity, amount, and quality of force. Why, hi, Kendall Bowman. Thank you for joining today. Well, hi, Brother David Miller. Thank you for joining today. I thank you, Brother Miller, for joining. You've been an inspiration. Your podcast has been a very inspirational podcast to me. Thank you, Brother David Miller. So let's go on. A lowering of victory or functional activity and depressed place of part, a period of low general economic activity marked ESP by rising levelness of employment. So, I will read a poem about truth. It is called Trust and Believe. And I got this from a book. It says about praises, and it's a powerful poems. And I read a lot of books because that's how you get your study and your work from, when you read books. And the most important book to read is the Bible. And I read that a lot because that's where I find my inspiration at. And that's where I like to read, because the Bible is a terrific book. And it's not just a book. It's my inspiration, like I said. It's so dear to me, because God wants us to love Him. And if you guys are someone out there with depression, God will take you in His hand and He will help you through this. So today, I'm going to read this poem. And the way ahead in this dark and dreary the pathway is untold, but surely I have not to fear when trusting in my God. Each heartache He doeth understand. He seems the falling tear. With earthly friends seem far away, His presence is so near. We heed not, see the path ahead when holding to His hand. Just trust Him fully and believe and obey each command. That is so right, ain't it? Well, today I just want to read we're running out of time today, so I will just read maybe these verses I was wanting to read real quick, and then we will end this podcast. And I thank you for joining today. God bless you all. I just thank you guys for joining. And I don't want to get any glory out of this. I want God to get all the glory, because He's the one that deserves all the glory and the honor and the praise. So, I want to read 2 verses in the Bible from Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 5 through 6. A lot of people know the verse I'm going to read. And it says, Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct thy paths. So you see that you got to trust in the Lord. I didn't say it's easy in hard times. But if you have depression, there's a verse in the Bible, and it says in Philippians chapter 4, verse 13, and it says, I can do all things through Christ which strengthens me. My dad said yesterday we had a Bible study yesterday, and we were talking about your foundation. So when Satan comes to you, you got to have a strong foundation. I know we go through troubles and trials down here on earth, and that's when Satan sneaks in and tells you you don't need church or whatever. He tells you you got to be strong in your foundation. And if you are doing this, turn to another verse really quick. And it says in Matthew chapter 16, verse 18, and it says, And I say also unto thee that thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. So we got to have a strong foundation. So I'm going to give you a choice between God or anxiety. Which one will you choose today? If you choose depression, you're on the road to hurt, loneliness, and doubt. But if you choose God, you're on a road to blessings, hope, and peace. And I'm going to ask you a question. us what you meant today. God bless you all. Thank you for joining me today. God bless you.